I divorced after my wife announced her pregnancy. Family saw me as the evil guy, but discussing the divorce altered that. At 32, I never imagined writing to strangers online. My wife, Felicia, 30F, surprised me 2 days ago. An expectant woman. Not happy or excited, but perplexed and saddened. After divorcing, my life is falling apart. Felicia and I married 5 years ago. We met volunteering at an animal shelter in our sophomore year of college. Her compassion and wonderful laugh attracted me immediately. We dated soon after and were inseparable in college. We acquired good jobs in the same city after college and decided to grow our relationship. Our wedding was intimate. With our closest relatives. We spent 2 glorious weeks in Hawaii on our honeymoon, exploring and planning. We considered having kids, but we waited until we were more established professionally. Present. Felicia is an international marketing executive, and I'm a software programmer at a growing tech company. We bought a gorgeous suburban house with a white picket fence 2 years ago, and a huge backyard for future kids to play. Our life appeared perfect. Felicia told me she was pregnant while I worked from home. I rushed to code in my home office for a big project. Felicia arrived bright-eyed at noon. "Honey, we're having kids," she said after a pregnancy test. It felt like the room whirled. My heart raced and blood poured into my ears. Felicia's smile vanished, so I must have looked surprised. She asked whether I was okay, but I couldn't. I couldn't join her enthusiasm. I left for some time to think on the news. My response upset Felicia and bewildered her. I needed privacy, not answers to her queries about why I didn't want the baby, or if there was someone else. Hazy days with little sleep or food followed. My mind rushed to understand. Felicia repeatedly wanted to talk to me, but I ignored her. I saw her pain and confusion in her eyes but couldn't express it. We were permanently changed by my decision yesterday. I divorced at a lawyer's. Felicia fell when I told her at home. She didn't get my motives. I couldn't explain or reconsider despite her efforts. Convince myself to tell her. Felicia's family's mad at me. Her parents keep calling and leaving angry, unbelieving voicemails. They label me coward for avoiding fatherhood and cruel for leaving my pregnant wife. Her sister texted me a full list of my Felicia and family damage. Our family is confused and upset. Mom calls repeatedly, wondering whether I'm having a breakdown or seeing someone else. My usually strict dad cried over the phone, saying he didn't raise me to abandon his family. My younger sister, who's always idolized me, won't converse. As I understand, most of our mutual acquaintances like Felicia. They blame me for wasting a good life and hurting a pregnant woman. Tom, my best mate, someone from college, is furious with me. He called me a coward and couldn't believe I injured Felicia. Being my friend embarrasses him. I probably sound the worst. I want to tell you everything, but I'm not ready. I know why I act, but I can't explain it without hurting others. 3 months have passed since Felicia and I were intimate. Both of us work anxiously. We've got personal issues. After thinking it was just a rough patch, I'm wondering if there's more. Her pregnancy timing is odd, but I won't accuse her without proof. I feel lost and alone. I can't talk to family or friends because they think I'm bad. Can't blame them. They assume I'm abandoning my wife when she needs me. This story is more complex than they realize. Dadhood has always been my goal. Felicia knows, we debated having kids years ago. My college fund for our future kids started last year, so my reaction shocks everyone. Why I'm not enthusiastic about parenting is beyond them. Felicia's pain-filled eyes are hardest. She wonders what went wrong and why I don't want our baby. I detest wrecking her world. I can't shake the uneasy feeling. My coworker hosts me for now. I hated seeing Felicia cry and beg for answers I couldn't give at her house. My coworker generously told me the full story, a place to remain without inquiries. Every call stresses me out. Felicia's family calling to yell at me again? My mother may be wondering why her child acts like a monster. Or Tom. You ready to condemn me for being a bad friend and husband? Confession coming up. If I delay, everyone suffers. So how do I explain? What can I tell my girlfriend about this child not being mine? How can I justify this to my loved ones? I don't want sympathy. I know my actions are cruel and selfish. I needed to vent before erupting. Any suggestions for solving this issue are welcome. Am I a jerk for divorcing instead of celebrating my wife's pregnancy? Update 1. A week has gone since my last post, and things are worse. I appreciate everyone who posted and sent letters, especially those who called me every name in the book. You were right, I needed to explain my emotions. Days of ignoring calls and messages led me to face the music. Felicia didn't see me when I needed privacy. Her brother was home when I arrived. He made me feel unwelcome. They stated Felicia was too upset to talk, and I should feel ashamed. I left without disputing, knowing I had to solve it. Since I couldn't reach Felicia, I met our family. I invited Felicia's parents, my parents, and a few close friends, including Tom. to my parents' house. I thought having everyone together would simplify explanations. Given the circumstances, Felicia's absence was reasonable. When everyone came, anxiety was intense. Cut tension using a knife. Felicia's dad wanted my issue. His scarlet cheeks and desire to punch me showed his anger. My mom cried, asking why I divorced. She said she raised me better, and this wasn't her son. Tom stared at me with arms folded and jaw tightened. Inhaled deeply. Soothing my anxiousness, I said. My divorce was filed because I felt Felicia was cheating. It was chaos in the room. The mother of Felicia shouted liar in disbelief and anger. Dad, normally calm, asked if I had proof, taught with displeasure. It was explained. Felicia and I hadn't been sexual in months, so pregnancy timing failed. I also said our marriage had issues, but nothing insurmountable. Felicia's growing distance, late work, and lack of interest in me were addressed. To protect Felicia, Tom called me crazy and accused me of lying. He insisted Felicia would never cheat and I was avoiding parenting. His words sting, especially from my lifelong best friend. Optimist mom thought dates were wrong or pregnancy was a miracle. She urged me to go to Felicia and resolve things, saying couples go through tough times and running away wasn't an option. After being quiet, Felicia's dad asked whether I had more evidence of infidelity. Though I hesitated to accuse without proof, I was honest. I told them Felicia was using her phone more secretively, frequently face down and taking calls in another room. She stopped telling me about her day at dinner, like she did every night. I should have told Felicia about my concerns sooner, but I was afraid of what I may uncover. The room split. Some, including Tom and Felicia's relatives, said I was wrong and Felicia would never cheat. They said I overreacted and imagined. People like my sister gently suggested there was more to the story. She encouraged us to consult Felicia before judging. As we talked, details surfaced. Tom mentioned the late hours were due to a big project with Felicia. He said they kept quiet to surprise the company, not because they hid evil. Felicia's mom might be insecure about our relationship, hence the lack of affection. Felicia said she felt disregarded and uncertain about our future. No one knew what to think after the meeting. Her parents were upset yet doubtful about Felicia's innocence. Supporting me and reconciling divided my parents. They claimed a solution. Divorce should be last. Tom became quieter, defending Felicia less but still upset. Tom stayed after everyone left. He asked if Felicia cheated. He seemed frightened when I said yes. He blamed work stress for Felicia's strange behavior. He promised to talk to her and find out what occurred because we were friends. Easy days followed. I hoped this was a misunderstanding and would be explained simply. Another part of me detected a major problem. I kept thinking I was missing something crucial. I finally met Felicia yesterday. A quiet cafe near our home hosted our rendezvous. She looked fatigued and sad with black circles under her eyes and pallor, breaking my heart. Her sharp, wrathful glance was new to me. She questioned why I suspected cheating. My reasons were the pregnancy date, her behavior changes, and our distance. While listening, she was calm. Her next question was if I had any further doubts. I hesitated, then confessed. Hidden something was exposed, making pregnancy impossible if I was father. Her pale face suggested confession. She rose up and left the cafe without saying a word, confusing me more. I'm lost. Felicia's response reinforces my infidelity notion, but I have no proof. Felicia is supported by some family and friends. Air is filled with unspoken accusations and tension. Despite uncertainty, the divorce is beginning. Not wanting to go home, I'm staying with a coworker. This once future house stinks of suspicion and treachery. Felicia's family no longer yells at me, but the silence is worse. Feels quiet before the storm. I must be honest soon, but I'm afraid of the consequences. It will clarify or worsen? If my secret is out, will I lose everyone I care about? Lost and need direction. Dealing with my mess? How do I find the truth without destroying everything and everyone? Second update: all was revealed after a month. The truth stings more than imagined. I appreciate all the advice and support, even my harshest critics. Your criticism and kindness gave me the courage to speak out. I told everyone the complete story after weeks of insomnia and indecision. I gathered our family and close friends, including Tom again. Felicia arrived. I sensed anxiety when everyone arrived at my parents' house. People on opposite ends of the room rarely looked at each other. My seat as the defendant made it look like court. I apologized for being dishonest early. I said I was scared and confused and handled it horribly. Breathing deeply, I dropped the bombshell. I told them I was sterile before Felicia and I married. The room went hushed in shock. Everyone started talking at once, like a dam broke. Questions, accusations, and distrust fell. I gestured for quiet and explained. I explained my sickness discovery after college. Routine medical checkups found anomalies, and more tests confirmed I couldn't father children. I kept my pain from Felicia and others. The thought of being judged and no one wanting to be with me made me ashamed and afraid. I observed everyone's realization while speaking. Felicia's pregnancy meant one thing if I couldn't parent. Everyone noticed Felicia, who was pale and staring at the floor with her hands clutched. Mom talked first. She questioned Felicia, shivering, if she was cheating. Felicia was quiet. Room silence was deafening. She cried and nodded, shocking everyone. Room got nuts. Felicia's parents gasped. Family was furious, friends stunned. Angry, crying people sought answers. In the turmoil, Tom walked toward the entrance with guilt and panic on his face. Contacted Tom for comment. He froze, and everything clicked. Now he understood the late hours working together, the secret behavior, and his passionate protection of Felicia. The room was quiet again as everyone watched Tom. Felicia cried to confirm everyone's thoughts. A year of infidelity with Tom is admitted. She said it started as a drunken mistake after work and continued because they felt lonely and misunderstood. Felicia said she disliked me for not wanting children without knowing why. Tom filled a void, she said. She believed her pregnancy would allow her to start her dream family. She thought it might be mine, or that I'd be so happy being a father I wouldn't question it. The news shocked everyone. Parents were unhappy because Felicia and Tom, who were like sons, betrayed them. My mother, who had always treated Tom like a child, was appalled and devastated. Dad, usually calm, exited the room to calm down. Felicia's parents were appalled by her actions but worried about her future. Her mother, May, wondered how she left her spouse for an affair. She observed her depressed dad with his head in his hands. Our friends looked sick, realizing they had unwittingly lied. Felicia and Tom's late-night work or project meeting excuses were accepted. Tom apologized, saying he never meant this. Their feelings were true, he loved Felicia. His words were ignored. He betrayed me and everyone in the room, so I severed our friendship. He shamefully departed the house after one last beg at Felicia. Felicia sobbed while explaining. She expressed feeling abandoned in our marriage, the affair's excitement, and her wish to have a child. She stated she would leave Tom and raise the baby with me, thinking I would never know. After hearing her reasoning, I felt angry, insulted, and oddly relieved. Well, I knew the truth. Felicia's betrayal replaced my secret. Felicia's actions weren't justified by my apology for disguising my illness. I said our divorce will continue after our marriage ended. Things changed weeks following that meeting. Felicia has not opposed the fast-moving divorce. After leaving us, she lives with her sister. She and Tom tried to fix their relationship, but shame and stigma were too much. Tom left town. Unable to accept his actions, our pals parted. Some have picked sides, some have ignored it. Some have apologized for questioning me, but such relationships take time to heal. Felicia's parents apologized, saying they understand my actions. They struggle to accept their daughter's actions and grandchild's existence. My family has supported me since my sterility diagnosis. My healing is slow. Betrayal hurts, but I'm glad I know the truth. A therapist is helping me understand my sentiments and why I hid my condition. I'm more honest with myself and others. So I joined fertility support groups. Telling my story and hearing others has helped. I've learned that my worth isn't based on my ability to produce biological children, and that there are various ways to build a family. The house Felicia and I shared is for sale. Living there with memories and broken dreams was awful. I want a fresh start to restore my life. It taught me a lot. The importance of honesty, accepting danger and life's uncertainty. I've learned that good intentions can make secrets bad. I've also learned the significance of loyal friends and family who stick by you through tough times. Excited about the future, but wary. First time in years I can be myself without my secret. Regaining my identity beyond marriage. Character I invented. All who supported me through this are appreciated. Kindness and understanding matter more than you think. You mistrust me, I understood. I hope this reminds you that stories often have more. Remember that the truth, no matter how painful, is always preferable than a falsehood for anyone in a comparable situation. The world may seem over, yet there's hope. Honesty, support, and beginning over are vital. Last update on the situation. I must finish this chapter and start another. Thank you for listening and supporting me during this difficult path. Celebrate new beginnings and hope.